Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm going to get started on a little junk journal here. And so I thought I'd do a craft along with me. I'm Catherine, by the way. If you're new here, welcome. And happy Boxing Day to everyone. I hope anyone who celebrated yesterday had a lovely day. And I hope anyone who's continuing to celebrate is continuing to have a lovely celebration. We had a nice day here at my house. We had my daughter and my son-in-law and their 3 children over for Christmas dinner. We had a really nice time. Anyhow, so I thought I'd turn the camera on. I haven't had any studio time. My goodness, I think in about 5 days. It's Thursday right now. And yeah, I think it's been maybe 5 days. Anyhow, I'm working on this book here. When I last left off, I had restored the spine on this well-used book. It's old. It's not that old. It's 1954. So it's 66 years old? Yeah, 66 years old. I guess that's pretty old. It's in lovely shape, but it's still, because it got used so much, it actually needed some help. I mean, sometimes when you redo a book that's 100 years old, it needs fortifying just simply because of intense age. Whereas a book from the 1950s, I don't necessarily consider it that old. It's certainly vintage. It's not antique, but it's vintage. But I think whoever loved this book previously was a very devoted churchgoer. So it needed quite a bit of TLC to make it strong again. But I could feel in the thickness of it that it felt really good, and I just really like it. So this is becoming a junk journal. So I'm trying to decide how many signatures I want to put in it. This is a almost 2-inch spine. And I'm thinking I'm going to aim for 9 smaller signatures. I like, as you know, I like uneven numbers for signatures in hidden hollowback spines. So I think I'm going to go for 9. I'm going to put a little question mark there because, you know, an artist's prerogative is to change their mind. So I think I'm going to do, I can't find my new book, actually my old book, because it's still 2019. It's buried somewhere here in this chaotic room of mine. So I'm just writing on a Post-it note for now. Usually I write in a book all the particulars, so I'll transfer the information when I find it. So I'm thinking 9 signatures, probably with 5 leaves each. We'll see. I'll get a feel for how heavy it is and whether it can take some more or whether I have to take some away. Each question mark. Anyhow, so I want to get started, and I might as well bring you along. I tea-dyed all these papers from that Anne McCaffrey book that I bought the other day for, I think, it was either 50 cents or 25 cents, this book. And I bought it because I loved this little border on it. Look how cute. On every single page is this beautiful little charming pen and ink border with little animals and a little log cabin. It looks like a little Irish cottage, a little owl. It's just really cute. Anyhow, so I'm going to attach these together. I have 2 washi tapes that have navy blue, and the cover here is navy blue. So I thought, oh, well, let's go with these. The book, this book, now I can't remember the name that it was. it turned out it didn't have a hidden hollow back spine with sewn in signatures. It was all glued together. So I had to slice every single page out of it. So that's why I am now having to stick them back together again. So, and of course, once you tea dye paper, the process of tea dyeing paper when it's wet can be stretchy, just like hair. Your hair can stretch when it's wet, and then as it dries, it goes back to its original length. I mean, it's minuscule. Some people might not even notice that their hair has stretched, but that's one of the reasons why you actually shouldn't put your soaking wet hair in a really tight ponytail or bun, because it's going to try and retract as it dries, and you can have hair breakage. Like some ladies, especially if they use bad elastics, not fabric covered elastics, they can have hair breakage. There's your little hint from the licensed hairstylist here. Don't put your wet hair in a really tight ponytail. You'll break your hair, unless you got tough hair like mine. Anyhow, so I am going to glue together a few of these pages to make some leaves for signatures. I'd like to put, I don't know, maybe five of these into the book. They're so pretty. Now, hold on. I'm going to get some masking tape, and then I'm going to reuse it. So I'm going to have to use the washi tape in order to create leaves. So I'm just taking away some of the stickiness of this masking tape. I want to hold it in place while I glue it. I'm using the grid lines to make sure I've got it even, and of course it moved on me. You're supposed to do your job, masking tape. Thank you. And then I don't trust washi tape, especially this washi tape. This is actually one of the very few washi tapes I actually did find at a thrift store. And I don't even think it's real washi tape. I think it's sort of paper tape sort of paper crafty tape. Anyhow, it's not very sticky, but it's really pretty. And it really goes well with this cover, because this cover is blue and gold, and this has blue, and there's sort of like a little bit of a yellowy orangey gold there. So I like it, and I'll work with it. So, masking tape, you're not doing your job very well. Anyhow, I'm going to use my good old art glitter glue. I just find it holds for the long haul. So I don't worry about it putting too much glue down, because there is some stickiness to that tape. I think it just needs a little bit of an insurance policy. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to give it a little bit of an insurance policy so it does its job. There we go. So I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I've got this even Steven. Oh, don't move. Come on, behave. There we go. So I'm happy to have a little studio day. I was really craving it. Much as I love family time, the introvert in me still needs studio time. Especially the big family hubby and I have. We have 7 children. And we have 16 grandchildren. And that's a lot. And they're wonderful. They're all... See how these aren't quite even, because these papers have stretched and misshapen during the tea dyeing process. But they're approximate, and they'll be fine. to put into a signature, because think about it, once they're folded, there's going to be more papers in there, and you'll never know if they're not quite even Steven. They'll be beautiful, and they'll have charm, and charm goes a long way, right? Anyhow, so Christmas Eve, we had dinner at one child's house, my husband's daughter and her family. And his son and their family came over. And as luck would have it, a good portion of my side of the family was going to be at my daughter's house, who literally lives a few houses away from my husband's daughter. So we were bringing the dinner Christmas Eve. So we literally went over to the one house. We made a homemade lasagna and Caesar salad and such. So we went over to the one house and we put the lasagna in the oven because it was ready to go. It just needed to be warmed up. We got everything ready, and then we went out the door and had a little visit over at my daughter's house and saw some more grandbabies over there. Then we went back. By the time we got back, the lasagna was ready, and there we go. And more family had arrived at the first house. So then we had a beautiful lasagna dinner, and with all the children there, they were 4 there. And then, hold on, let me see what I'm doing here. I don't want to waste too much of this. That looks good. We opened a few little gifts. We don't usually open gifts on Christmas Eve, but we knew that we weren't going to see that side of the family on Christmas Day. So that was our Christmas. Christmas Eve was our Christmas. So that was nice. And then so we still had some time, because their children, the 4 little girls, God, they were cute. They had early bedtimes, all of them. So that gave us time, because by then it was only about 7:30. So we popped back over to my daughter's house, and by then more people had arrived, because a lot of the grandchildren from my side of the family, because we did a Brady Bunch thing, we blended families, are older. A lot of my side, my oldest grandchild is 16. So by then, a lot of them had arrived, and then it was wonderful. We got to see almost all of our grandchildren. Out of 16 grandchildren, there were only 2 that we didn't get to see this year, because they were already on their way and on down to Connecticut, where they have family down in Connecticut. So now we had seen them about a week and a half ago, so that's okay. And we'll see them when they come back. But it worked out nicely. We got to see lots and lots of grandbabies and give hugs and kisses and exchange some. We just do tiny little gifts. Because we've just always had a big family, we, right from the beginning, made sure that Christmas was more about food and fun and music and games, and that although gifts were nice, they were not the central focus of our Christmas celebrations. And thank goodness, because when you've got 16 grandchildren, it starts getting very hard to spoil them when you have that many, especially if you want to retire someday. Okay, I keep putting too much glue over there. That's okay. Let's move it over a little bit. There. So that was nice. So we got to see lots and lots there on Christmas Eve. And then even they had to go to bed, and we were tired by then too, because we'd been on the go since the afternoon. So we headed home, plus our little dog. She'd been on her own for about 4 hours by then. So we headed home. Fortunately, most of us all live in the same town. So most of us are about 5 minutes away from each other, which is also a nice thing when you got a big family and you can all be close together. So then we came home and hubby and I just relaxed. Gee, that's wide apart. You know what? I might put a little bit of this. I'm going to look at those other ones. So then hubby and I actually had a really nice, like from about 8 p.m. onwards, we had a very nice, relaxing Christmas Eve, and we watched a little television, and you'd think at 60 years old, empty nest, all we've got is a jeepers, all we've got is our little 14-pound dog. She's a Chiweenie. And you'd think with two of us in our 60s and one 14-pound dog that Christmas morning we'd sleep in. No, I was wide awake. 5:45. Wide awake. So I got up and put some coffee on, and hubby and the dog slept a little bit longer, but not much. They were certainly downstairs by 6:30 or so. Okay, that's better. So he and I opened presents together, just on our own. Gosh, it was nice. Yeah, look at that one, because the paper has changed shape. I better do this side as well. I think I'm going to sneeze in oh, hold on. Pardon me. It was just the two of us for opening presents. And it was, you know what, after years of chaos, like for a while, I was a single mom and he was a single dad, so that was busy. I still had 4 children at home when I found myself as a single mom, and he still had 2 children at home as a single dad, so we had busy times those years. And then when we blended together, by then we had 4 children still living at home. So Christmas was busy. And I gotta tell you, I wondered whether I'd be sad or melancholy, and our Christmas morning, just the two of us and the dog, we just exchanged stockings. We don't exchange gifts anymore, hubby and I. It was lovely. We sipped our coffee, we chatted and laughed and opened our stockings, and the dog gave us a little gift. She was very thoughtful. She got us a new Keurig Duo, so it can brew a pot of coffee, or you can do a single cup. She's a very thoughtful dog. So we had this one did it too. I'm going to just reinforce this side as well. Normally I only reinforce one side if I have to glue 2 sheets together. But obviously these papers made themselves so misshapen when they went into the tea bath that they need a little bit of help. That's okay. Anyhow, yeah, so we had a very lovely, quiet Christmas morning, and so we had coffee and opened our stockings together and then we popped out. I went over to see my mom, so that's about a half an hour drive to get to my mom's nursing home. So we went out and spent a little while with mom, and that was nice to see her. She was in very good spirits. She wasn't sure what day it was. It's been Christmas to her for about a month. And you know what? In a way, isn't that a nice way to live? Every day is Christmas, as long as the tree is up. And so that eliminates any worry. You know, is she going to be upset that we're leaving her on Christmas? For my mom, her dementia is a little bit of a blessing, because it's actually left her quite content. Every day is just a nice day to her. And so we had a wonderful visit. I brought a thermos of coffee, because she doesn't usually get coffee. She drinks tea all the time at where she lives. And so she loved having a cup of coffee, decaf, so that she'll still have her nap in the afternoon. And then we came home and we got everything ready because we were cooking. My daughter and her husband and their 3 little children. Well, not so little. Their oldest are getting to be young ladies. They came over and we had a beautiful, we did prime rib this year instead of turkey. And it was nice. And it came out perfectly. Nice medium rare. Good gravy. My son-in-law loves to get in the kitchen, so he and I were in the kitchen making gravy and Yorkshire puddings. And they made tiramisu, homemade tiramisu. Oh my goodness, that was delicious. Yeah, look at that. What a difference, the split there. That's okay. We can work with that. I think this is all I'm going to get going because I'm only going to do about 30 minutes here. I might turn it back on again when I start working on the next amount of pages that I'm going to put in the signatures. Because certainly this is going to be a big book. 2-inch spine. This is going to be a big, that's going to be a big lady. I'm looking forward to it. I think what I'm going to do is put a lot of religious art in it. Because there already was some beautiful religious art in the original pages. So I'm going to put those back in. And then I'm going to find some more in all the art books that I have over there ready for cutting up. How many do I want to do? I said I wanted to do 5. I've only got 3 done. Oh my goodness, I'm talking too much. Oh. Anyhow, I hope anyone who's watching right now, I hope you had a nice relaxing day yesterday, or else if you enjoy hectic, I hope it was wonderfully hectic and shared with people you love. That's what it's all about, whether it's biological family or whether it's the family you've chosen, doesn't matter. I've had Christmases with both, and they've been nice. There we go. I find just that little bit of the art glitter glue is just enough to just give it the reinforcement, and then of course smush it, right? You want to smush it underneath the tape to spread it out, and it'll hold. My husband is happily down in his man cave. One of the channels on TV is having like a Rocky marathon, and I think he's on Rocky 5 now. So he's in heaven. And the dog is buried under a blanket beside him. She loves to roast under blankets. I think they say that's the dachshund in her, because she's a Chiweenie, so she's half Chihuahua and half wiener dog. And from what I've read about their personality traits, wiener dogs like to bury under blankets. And my goodness, this dog loves to bury under blankets. One more. These papers were nice and flat. I put them in my book press like 5 days ago. And then with all the chaos of getting ready for Christmas, I forgot they were in the book press until this morning. And so that was a nice surprise to find them lovely and flat. Right there. I'm one of those lucky wives. Yes, I did do a lot of cooking yesterday, which I enjoy. And my son-in-law is such a huge help in the kitchen. He loves cooking too. I'm married to a man who loves cleaning. So after making that big massive dinner, that turned out wonderfully, my hubby promptly said, "All right, get out of the kitchen. It's my turn." And oh my goodness, that man cleaned the kitchen. It was so nice. Got up this morning and my kitchen was just shining. So that was a treat too. That was like a Christmas present all in itself. Anyone who knows what that's like, making a big meal. Sometimes the cleanup afterwards can be a little discouraging. So that was a nice treat. Thank you, Anne McCaffrey book, for giving me these cute pages. I think that'll be... Boy, I've got 5 leaves of what's going to need to be like 45 leaves. But at least we got to start, right? I'll get these. I'm really off center, and I'm sorry. But, as I said, all I'm doing is turning on the camera. You're along for the ride if you feel like it. Oh, that looks nice. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I got one, two. Okay, yeah, so I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 6. Well, one for good measure, right? All right, you know what? I'm going to turn the camera off. I have some guest pages to get ready. And then maybe I'll turn the camera back on when I have more of the signatures ready to go. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks for visiting. Hope you're still enjoying a day off, and we'll talk soon. Bye.